Hey everyone, Karsty5 here. Wait a minute, I still do reviews? I guess I do since I'm making one right now. It's better not to question it. Anyway, the Nintendo Switch is right around the corner, and although I'm not going to be buying one at launch, new computers are expensive, you know, I'm excited for what it brings to the table compared to previous Nintendo consoles. I'm also super stoked for Super Mario Odyssey. That game looks phenomenal. So before you throw away your Wii U, here's the standout Mario game on the system, Super Mario 3D World. This game came with many versions of the console, including the one I own, so it was definitely perceived well by Nintendo. This may not be the Mario game the fans wanted, but I think it's a good game nonetheless. Spoiler warning. Without further ado, let's get into the review. So, it's a Mario game, which automatically lowers the bar for the story department. Considering that most of the Mario series has the same story entirely, that's no surprise. And what do you know? It's actually different. Instead of Bowser kidnapping the princess, he kidnaps some fairies instead. Way to go, kidnapping some defenseless Sprixies. A+ in the naming, am I right? Anyway, the story is not super deep and complicated similar to something like Uncharted. Instead, it is just a mild refresh of traditional Mario lore. But at least we now have a reason for entering all those castles, to save each individual Sprixie. Also, as a side effect, Princess Peach is now a playable character. Yes, the Pink Queen of the Mushroom Kingdom is added again with some hovering action reminiscent of Mario 2. The Wii U is not a graphical powerhouse, but the visual department is amazing on the system that it is running on. Everything is crisp and clean, and it has that perfect Wii U look, if I could describe it. The game runs at 1080p, which is honestly all that is needed in this day and age, at least for me. Of course, the Wii U can't output higher. The game is fluid, although I'm not sure on the exact frame rate. Water effects look nice, and is overall a good-looking game, if not realistic. And oh my gosh, the cat suits. Cats everywhere. It's a cuteness overload! The gameplay of Super Mario 3D World is, as it sounds, Mario in 3D. Although instead of 3D playgrounds in the vein of Super Mario Sunshine or Mario 64, there are linear levels. Oh, and did I mention the timer in the right-hand corner? It peers into your soul and judges accordingly. In all seriousness, it's a change that I don't really like. It makes exploring difficult, but the linear levels are barely anything to explore anyway. But don't get me started on the speed levels. These levels lower the time limit, creating an even less fun experience, scrambling to find all the green stars in each level. And you will need those precious green stars, as they are necessary in order to unlock the castles to complete the game. With the worlds, the themes are pretty standard from previous games. You have your water world, a snow world, a grassland, you know the drill. Some weird additions like the theme park style levels are weird at first, but the levels are good, so who cares? Not much has changed, although some levels can be really inventive with their use of power-ups and items. Levels are never really hard, and if you run out of lives, you can head back to World 1-2 where an easy unlimited lives glitch is pretty well documented. Speaking of items, there are the cat suit, as I mentioned before, the double cherry, which splits your character into two, and the normal power-ups from past installments like the boomerang suit and the raccoon suit. One thing that seriously grinds my gears is the boost pads, which cause your character of choice to run without stopping into what is usually, or at least for me, a pit full of lava. Character-wise, you have mainstays like Mario, Luigi, and Toad. As I mentioned before, Princess Peach joins in on the fun, but Rosalina shows up too, after you have beaten the main campaign, of course. The boss fights are really inventive, although they are used a few times in a row, with an increasing difficulty, of course. Overall, I really enjoyed Super Mario 3D World. It's a fun Mario game, while maybe not on par with previous entries, I enjoy it nonetheless. Even though the Nintendo Switch dominates the horizon, the Wii U is still an interesting console in its own right. If I were you, I probably would wait on getting this game until after the Nintendo Switch drops and the Wii U prices of consoles and games fall in tandem, but it's up to you really. So see you later and have a great day.